What's up, guys? So Andrew and I were here chatting about fitness stuff and really just kind of want to share this idea. And it may get a little convoluted. It may kind of get into the woods, but we're going to do our best to bring it back to center. So, back in the day, 5, 8, 10 years ago, CrossFit used to be this idea of what is the answer? It's CrossFit. What is the solution? It's CrossFit. It just was like this self-evident, you don't have to explain it kind of thing. And I feel like the market these days is basically, a lot of the taglines like Forging Elite Fitness, those are all great, but it's kind of like, well, how fit can you be? And you're just going to get more fit and more fit and more fit. And you're just going to be so fit that you're just like oozing with fitness and you can't even handle it. It's like, well, maybe for a lot of people that doesn't resonate, it doesn't make sense. So we're trying to backtrack it into the why. And so really what Andrew and I have been talking about for months and months is this idea of kind of falling in love with fitness and fitness for its own sake and appreciating the journey more so than anything. So I guess to kind of recreate that, I'll just kind of ask you some questions. So did you go to the gym today?
Yeah, I worked out today.
And what did you do for your workout?
I did a little bit of chest and a little bit of post delts, and that's about it.
And how long did you spend there?
20 minutes.
20 minutes? What, you mean you didn't do a whole hour class and like bust your ass to the max? So why did you choose to do 20 minutes as opposed to something else?
I mean, honestly, time constraints maybe played a small role, but really that's just kind of what I wanted to get in today. I wanted to move a little bit, and I know what I'm going to plan on doing tomorrow and kind of later in the week, and it fit well today, so it didn't have to be much today.
And were you happy to do that? Were you bummed to do that?
Always ecstatic to move. I always love trying to either work on my mobility or achieve the best position I can on a squat, or handle an outside load, or increase my heart rate, or lift heavy, or sweat a little bit. I'm always excited to do that on any given day.
So you have a plan to deadlift heavy like in the next couple of days?
Not deadlift heavy, but I have a plan I've had a plan this week, and I have a plan of complementing what I did today with something tomorrow.
So doing some posterior chain of some kind?
Yeah, probably some type of lower body work or something like that.
Cool. And so, you did 20 minutes of work. You didn't, like completely go balls to the wall, I assume, and it wasn't like a crazy, out of control, super strength session with a killer Metcon and all that kind of stuff, but you're still happy to do that.
Always.
Right? Okay.
Always.
And so what is your goal right now?
I like to do something every day. I mean, right now I want to be ready for snowboard season. I want to have my mobility and stay somewhat fresh for when I do Muay Thai. I want to ride my motorcycle and ride my mountain bike and have fun doing that. And I don't necessarily have any like aesthetic goals or really any strength goals or really any true performance goals other than trying to move every day right now.
So that's really interesting, I think, because that is your current, fitness truth, so to speak. And so do you have any plans to like improve your front squat and get like a new max snatch or anything like that?
Actually, yeah. I mean, once it warms up, I plan on hopefully feeling pretty good in the spring and the summer, and definitely handling the barbell a lot more. But it's not like the forefront of like my thought process.
So for the next like 5 or 6 months, that's not a real huge priority.
Yeah, I really want to enjoy the winter more than anything, and that's going to be snowboarding and stuff like that. So
cool.
Yeah.
So and this is not to downplay the importance of lifting heavy things and doing new stuff, because to some extent those things are really necessary, right? Some people need to lift heavy weight because they think they can't, and they need to be shown a way and a path to realize like, oh, I can do a thing. And that's their current fitness truth, is overcoming the idea that they may or may not be strong enough to do a certain thing. And so my fitness truth right now is basically kind of rehabbing all these weird things that have come up that I haven't been able to recover from. I've had stitches in my back for a month of the last 3 months that haven't allowed me to flex or extend my back really. And I actually been told by doctors I'm not supposed to sweat because of that. And so it's like, well, what am I supposed to do? And so I've not been doing like CrossFit proper and just kind of like taking it easy. I had a kid. And so my workout this morning was I did a couple of sets of push press with the bar only, no weight, and was just overjoyed that it didn't hurt and it felt okay. And I did some RDLs with a dumbbell. No WOD, no crazy stuff, no heavy stuff. And those are our current fitness truths. And hopefully, just like Andrew said, in 6 months and when it warms up and when, my daughter gets a little older and my stitch is fully healed because my back is still giving me shit and there's space in my lower back, that we can weather those storms and still be in love with the process of just moving and grinding and moving and working and having these niche things. So you said mobility, right?
Yeah.
So what mobility wise are you currently, like what's your fixated target for mobility?
In general, I really like the idea of trying to have full range of motion out of each and every, like the physical therapy standard for full range of motion out of each and every one of my joints. So there's I'm not a physical therapist, but I hear when you go through school, you're basically given a manual in which it has, your elbow should have this, a normal elbow is going to have this type of function as far as range of motion and flexion and extension. Same thing with your hips and your fingers and your neck and all that stuff. And I want to move as good as possible and have full range of motion out of all my joints, pain-free, and then be able to load those ranges of motion totally competently and look good doing it. Not look good like aesthetically look good, but like look very solid and basically look perfect doing it.
Yeah, that actually, I would say that's pretty congruent with my goal, more from an upper body perspective, because that's always been my limitation. So I'm fixated right now with fixing my overhead position and like Andrew said, trying to get to that's perfect, effortless range of motion that is durable and always there. So, I mean, I guess the point of this video and kind of winding down the year here is understanding your fitness truth and understand why you're doing stuff and seeing the lulls and the gaps and the plateaus in your fitness so that you can achieve greater fitness things in the long run. I mean, I assume at some point you want to get back to deadlifting and snatching and front squatting heavy. It's just not now, today, maybe not next week.
Yeah, and honestly, I mean, I could probably do everything I wanted to today. I just don't really have a major desire to do so.
Yeah. I
really there are other things that are taking precedent over coming in and deadlifting super heavy and stuff like that.
Yeah.
So, I mean, really, I think I've said it to probably a number of people in class, and I've probably always said it to the coaches and stuff like that. I really like moving, and I really want people in here to fall in love with the idea of moving really well. And moving really well to me is being able to effortlessly go through a pistol and have a good knee position and have a good hip position and a decent back position. Being able to sit in a squat for a long time and be cozy in that position, like that's your resting position. I want to hang out in my squat because it's easy and it's comfortable. So then when I load it, it's not a big deal. Being able to hang and have a good overhead position and not have pain in the shoulders and the elbows and the wrists and stuff like that. Have good extension across your back, good flexion across your back. Like all the things we try to achieve throughout our warm up and really through our strength by going through full ranges of motion, like that's movement that I love more than anything. I love moving. I love moving through a full range of motion and then doing that in a fun way, like an activity like snowboarding or mountain biking or something like that. But movement is like, for me, what it's all about. And don't get me wrong, I mean, I love CrossFit and WODs and all that stuff. I mean, this stuff is awesome. I've always loved doing that stuff. But probably like into my early 20s and mid 20s, I really kind of was like, wow, I really want to make sure I do everything perfect. I want to do everything perfect. I want my body to not be in pain, and I want to wake up and be able to deadlift 80% of my max cold if I wanted to, or if I needed to for some reason or something like that. Wake up and feel good. That's kind of what I want.
Yeah. So I guess the end game is understanding your own fitness truth and understanding your why. And we're obviously here as guideposts to help you understand that. But we have always at the central core, like the central core of what we're talking about is falling in love with fitness. And how do we do that? 9 times out of 10 it's through CrossFit and occasionally, incorporating other things, as opposed to looking at CrossFit from the outside in and being like, well, I'm going to be a badass, I'm going to lose all the weights, and then what, right? So working from that inside out can kind of help you achieve your long-term goals. Fair enough? sort of a winding dialogue, but I think, kind of an important thing to communicate. So that's it. Anything else?
No, we feel Brandon snatching super heavy.
Yeah, if you want to follow in the footsteps of somebody who's getting after it heavy, Austin and Brandon.
Mostly Brandon, but.
Mostly Brandon. Thanks for watching, guys. See you next time.